now as the executive chef of a property for Discovery Land.
Yeah.
I understand that, you gotta, kids and young chefs have to be trained. Regardless if it's Pizza Hut or McDonald's or a 3-star Michelin restaurant. You just can't let somebody do something that they haven't been trained to do.
Yeah, speaking of training, like, did you go to school for culinary arts?
So I went to Johnson & Wales in Providence, Rhode Island.
Right.
And that was way before that was years before the Food Network.
Right.
I went to culinary school, like I thought, get a job and work at hotels and, you know what I mean? Maybe one day open up a restaurant. But it was I got a 4-year degree. I got my 2 years in culinary and I got a bachelor's in business.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah. So like I did, I did 2 years of culinary, then I did food and beverage, right? So I got I got my bachelor's. But after, I didn't think I got so burnt out. Like I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to be a chef. And I went to front of the house, you know what I mean? I was a manager at, Houlihan's in Faneuil Hall in Boston,
Yeah.
Well, how important, like a follow-up to the education question, like how important do you think education is and getting a degree is in the culinary arts for the aspiring chefs out there?
I mean, listen, there's 2 ways to think about it, right? If you grow, I didn't have to go to culinary school, but it gave me a foundation.
Yeah.
Right? And it's what you pull out of that school, right? I did a lot, but I could have did so much more. There was so much more learning that I could have done, but it was college, you know what I mean? I was a 19-year-old kid.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? I was a 19-year-old kid. I joined the fraternity.
What fraternity?
ATO.
Okay, nice.
Well, listen, a bunch of culinary kids, whatever. I support and I love Greek life. I think it means a lot to so many different, people, but
yeah.
But it was college, you know what I mean? Like Johnson Wales, big canvas, there's business, there's equestrian and everything like that. Friday Night Kane, you know what I mean? I don't know, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, so, but I think, but then also, I know I have a lot of chef friends that are executive chefs that, own restaurants or are big time within the culinary world, and they didn't pursue the culinary route. They just got trained and they studied harder.
So speaking of that, right, and it's kind of the unique thing about America, right, is like you can kind of go the traditional college route or you can go a more kind of European route, which is either a vocational school or just jumping right into a job, right? And so what would be the path for people out there that, don't want to go to college but want to be a chef?
I think like if you really, really want to be a chef, right, I would definitely say go to wherever you live, go to that. If there's a hot restaurant or there's a local restaurant, go and see what it's all about. Because it's not all what it's cracked up to be. Usually a lot of hours, you're working in heat and it's
stress.
It's stress and it's you're getting yelled at and and the money's not good and it's long hours. But it's a passion, you know what I mean? If you work in a restaurant within that first year, either you're gonna love it or hate it. Either you're gonna quit or you're gonna pursue it.
Yeah.
Like that's what it's all about. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And listen, there's so many different levels of restaurants and culinary, right? Listen, working here, right? I need a guy a Denny's cook, right? In the morning time. Like that's what I go after. Someone that could cook eggs, right?
Oh, wow.
That could, I don't need some fancy, I'm a superstar chef. They're not going to last, right? I need a kid that works at Denny's or
produce a lot
of things, knows how to make eggs, right? And then, you have lunch, someone's aspiring to be a young chef and everything like that. And dinner time, like you need that we call soigné, you know what I mean? That they're finesse, you know what I mean? They want to be, they want the best of the best. And in the club life, it's different. When I was on the Strip, I opened up, Palms Hotel. I had a, Michelin star restaurant called Nove Italiano. And you got the young hunger guys, you know what I mean? But I have a name here at Geno's, so like I still attract those guys. But other clubs around the world and country, it's tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So I can imagine how competitive it is,
yeah.
man. Yeah, like
especially this city.
Oh yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Think about it.
Yeah, you mentioned a little bit earlier that you said there was a point where you thought where you were getting a little burnt out, right? Like what was making you get burnt out?
The longevity, right? You know what I mean? It's the long hours, and you're working, and you're not really, moving up
Yeah.
chain, you know what I mean? So like during that time, my mentality flipped, you know what I mean? A bunch of us moved to San Diego, moved there.
From Jersey to San
No,
Diego,
after culinary school. After culinary school, I lived in Boston, and like 25, and we moved to like 10 of us, you know,
Oh, that's
managers.
cool.
We moved to San Diego. We wound up in IB and everything like that. You know, then Pacific Beach. But then, like, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna absorb the culture of California. You know what I mean? I worked on fishing boats. I worked at every restaurant I could. I was a mercenary. You know what I mean? You want to hire me?
Yeah.
Oh, you can hire
That's
me.
sick.
These are the days that I can work Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Yeah.
I'll be there 5, and I had multiple jobs. And it kind of like,
Rough.
it got me sparked again. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it got me hungry. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? But I think like with any career, anything you do, you definitely hit, there's a bottom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you just gotta, you know, because you see other people and you think I'm better than that person. But you know, and I was lucky. I'm not like, I was really, really lucky. I got a break. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I met a chef in San Diego before I moved out to San Diego. I got a big fucking break, and after that break, I never let it go.
Yeah.
I
see,
worked twice as hard.
I love that you're saying that, man, because I talk to that with friends all the time, man, especially in Hollywood. You know, you're sitting around and you got to catch a break. You got to get lucky sometimes, man. And that's kind of sometimes the only way to make it, but it's what you do with that, right? What do you do with that? You're still showing up. You're doing all the work. One of my friends said one time, he's very successful. He said, it's hard to get to the top. It's even harder to stay there. So you catch a break, but like not some people get that, and then they only get their 10 minutes of fame.
Yeah,
and then
exactly.
They burn
Yeah,
out, they
that
don't
they're
put in the
done.
work.
You know what I mean?
But it's what you do with those opportunities that make all the difference, man. So that's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Did you ever see your life going the path that you've had now, based off your passion, right?
No. Like, you know, I was the kid that, you know, no one thought
Oh, really?
my neighborhood and all, like
Yeah.
how I grew up. You know what I mean? That's another story. Never do with that. But I was just that kid. You know what I mean? Like I was, and yeah, you know, I just yeah.
You're not 50 yet, are you?
I'm 50. I turned 52 in April.
Oh, no way.
Hell
Yeah, man. Well, then you made it, bro.
Yeah, no, yeah. I crossed the line. You know what I mean? But no, I felt it. You know what I mean? I worked harder. You know, read more. Dined out more. You know what I mean? I stayed later. You know what I mean? I got there earlier on my dime. You know what I mean?
That's cool, man.
You know, it's like a sport in a lot of ways, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
It's competition every day.
So you mentioned Nove and having a Michelin star. I mean, that is every chef's dream, right? I mean, what went into that besides obviously all the hard work and everything taken to get there, but like take us there.
It's being the coach, being every position possible, you know, and developing a team, you know what I mean? And making sure that we fulfill everybody that comes into the restaurant dream. You know, I train the cooks, I train the servers, I train the GM. You know, I'm the voice. You know what I mean? Everybody else is going to follow me in any restaurant ever since I took over, and it's every day, right? And every day we're playing for the national championship, the World Series, or the Super Bowl, or the Stanley Cup, right? Or Olympic gold medal. If you're practicing preseason, and we're going to lose, you know what I mean? You know, it's tough. Every day, it's game day. You can't, you know, listen, there's off nights and everything like that, but, you know, who's suffering? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
The guest suffers, right?
Yeah.
So, like, as a chef, and I was fortunate enough, I was mentored by a chef called Michael Cornick, MK out of Chicago.
Cool.
Right? He was my mentor, right? He believed in me, right? Even though, like, you know, he hired me and everything like that. And so we opened up a restaurant before the Palms and before Nove at the Palm Springs, same group, but like a year earlier. And he hires me, and I swear to God, guys, I am like, up, you know what I mean? So bad, like not cooking, like I can still cook and everything like that, but like he's like grilling me. How many cups are in here? How many ounces is this?
Wow.
Why is this like
You got to know everything.
everything? And I know it, but I just was so nervous. Like I was nervous. He was a James Beard winner 2 times. Like the guy's sick, right? You know, Michelin star. You know, worked for Let Us Entertain You. Like in the early days, you know. So I go home and everything like that every night, like rattled and like not defeated, but just like goddamn, like reading again. Like I know this shit. You know what I mean? But I just got tongue tied, right?
Yeah.
So one day he just like with my upbringing, my jerseyness in me, like he fucking just pissed me off one day, and I'm like, You know what? So I fucking looked at him. I go, listen, BB King don't read music, and look how famous he was.
Yeah.
Hell
man.
yeah.
And like he stopped, and he goes, "Holy shit, dude!" And then
Yeah.
from that day on, it just clicked for me.
Yeah.
Like it just clicked. Like
Yeah, man.
and then
You
I
stepped
was
into your
never
own, man.
never nervous around him, and I stood on my own
Yeah.
2 feet,
Stood your
and
ground.
I told him, listen, you know what I mean? I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like that like I had to, you know, like it's like the little bull challenge and the big bull. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I
man.
had to say, hey,
Yeah.
this is my restaurant. You're gonna be my mentor.
Yeah.
I'm gonna teach you, you know, that I could do it. You know?
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing about culinary. It's respect.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoyed the video.
And subscribe and hit the bell for a whole lot more to come.